Welcome to Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools. The Winston-Salem Forsyth County Board of Education strives to create a psychologically safe working environment for our employees. To help achieve this culture, the board expects all employees to behave in a civil and respectful manner. The board has adopted a policy that expressly prohibits discrimination, harassment, and bullying. It is important that all employees understand that the board will not tolerate any form of unlawful discrimination, harassment, or bullying in any of its educational or employment activities. The policy prohibits these behaviors in any school building or on any school premise before, during, or after school hours, at any bus stop, on any bus or other vehicle as part of any school activity, during any school-sponsored activity or extracurricular activity, at any time or place when the individual is subject to the authority of school personnel, and at any time or place when the behavior has a direct and immediate effect on maintaining order and discipline in the schools. As a new employee, there are 3 key things for you to know and understand about the board's policy and regulation on discrimination, harassment, or bullying. First, if you violate this policy, you are subject to disciplinary action up to and including dismissal. Second, if you witness or have reliable information or reason to believe that an individual has been discriminated against, harassed, or bullied in violation of the policy, you must report the offense immediately to an appropriate individual. This applies to discrimination, harassment, or bullying of both students and other employees. If you do not report it, you are subject to disciplinary action. Third and finally, you need to know what to do if you believe that you have been discriminated against, harassed, or bullied. So let's turn to that topic now. Here's a video that will help you understand what to do if you are being harassed.
Josh, what's going on? You sounded upset when you called me on the phone.
Well, Elizabeth, it's really awkward for me to talk about, but it's about my supervisor, Emily.
Okay, so tell me what's happened.
Well, Emily's been sexually harassing me. It started off small at first, but then progressively got worse, and I felt it was time to come to you, our Director of Human Resources.
Okay, well, you've definitely come to the right place. Let me get my notepad here so I can take some notes. Why don't you tell me exactly what's happened?
Well, like I said, it started a while ago. It started off small at first, but she progressively got worse. It really started around the time that we were working on a project together, and she asked me to be her partner.
Good morning.
Morning.
It's so great to see you guys this morning. How you doing?
Doing well.
Well, you know, as I said in my email, we needed to come together to talk about these big projects we have to have due within the next 2 weeks. So I thought the best way we could get these projects completed if we would work together in pairs. I was going to pair everybody up. Is that all right with everybody? So Joshie, you'll be my partner. And Thomas and Melissa, it's okay if you guys work together?
Okay.
Joshie, are you okay working with me?
I guess so.
Well, then let's begin to talk about these projects that we have due for the next 2 weeks.
Okay, Josh, I'm not sure I understand. Do you think she is sexually harassing you because she asked you to be your partner?
No, of course not. It's what happened after that.
Hello, Joshie.
Hello, Emily. Do you need something?
Do you mean besides you?
Seriously, Emily, what do you need?
I just wanted to talk to you about when we can get together to work on our project.
Well, I was thinking about that, and I think we can do the work more efficiently if we split up. You take the first part, I'll take the second part. We can get back together in a couple of days, kind of see where we're at before we move forward.
Oh, I thought you really wanted to work with me, and I really wanted to work with you on this project. You're so knowledgeable about the section that we have.
All right, well, shall we just plan on touching base on Friday and see where we're at?
I'm really busy Friday, but we can meet after Friday for drinks, over drinks to talk about our project. What do you think?
I've got something going on Friday. I think we should just stick to business hours.
Okay, Joshie. You know I'll do whatever you want me to do. I'll talk to you later.
Josh, the behavior you are describing is inappropriate and it does need to be addressed. Unwelcome sexual advances, whether they are verbal or whether they are physical, can constitute sexual harassment. For example, if the conduct is severe or it is persistent and it interferes with your work, or if it's creating an intimidating and a hostile work environment. So what you are describing could very well be sexual harassment. Obviously, I'm going to need to hear her side of this story, but let me hear from you right now. Are there any other allegations?
Yes, there's more that happened.
Okay, tell me and be as specific as possible.
Well, I wasn't sure at first, so I went to my coworker Thomas and discussed it with him. She did it again, Thomas.
Who, Emily? What did she do this time?
She winks at me, she gets close to me, touches me. She even asked me to go out for drinks on Friday night.
Well, what did you say, man?
Of course, I told her I didn't want to have drinks Friday night.
Well, what about all the other stuff? I mean, you just need to tell her to stop.
Well, I have, but just not using those words.
Well, what words did you use?
Well, body language. I squirm away from her. I figured from my nonverbal conduct that she would get the picture and leave me alone. I mean, she's my supervisor. I don't want to make it uncomfortable.
Josh, man, that isn't enough. Since she keeps doing the same kind of stuff, it seems to me that she doesn't see that as unwanted. And there is a way that you can make it clear, though. Just tell her.
All right. Yeah, you're right. The next time she makes an unwanted advance, I'll let her know.
Good. I'm going to hold you to that.
Well, it sounds like Thomas gave you some good advice. He was right. You do need to be very clear and direct with her to stop her advances. So did you follow his advice?
I did. And when Emily and I met again, she made another inappropriate advance, and I had to stop it at that point. So, Emily, how's your part of the project going?
It's going well. But before we begin to talk about the project, I want to show you something.
Okay.
You know, I'm going on a trip next week, a cruise with some girlfriends. So I went shopping this weekend, and I bought a bathing suit. Don't I look good in that? Am I sexy or what?
Emily, that is inappropriate. In fact, you've been doing a lot of things that are inappropriate. I need you to stop. I'm a married man, and I'm not interested in you. Please stop making sexual advances toward me.
Wow, Joshy, I'm shocked. I didn't know.
And this whole Joshy thing. My name is Joshua. Please call me Joshua or Josh.
All right, I got it. Enough said. I thought maybe we could have a little fun, you know, a little play, a little work play on the side. But I guess not.
Well, I'm glad we're on the same page. I'd like to work with you in a professional manner. Do you think you can handle that?
Of course. I'm professional, Josh. I'm your supervisor. I can do anything.
Well, I'm glad that you were clear with Emily and told her her advances were not welcome. So hopefully this changed her behavior?
Unfortunately, it didn't. And that's why I'm coming to you, because of what happened next. Thomas, can you come to my office for a minute?
Sure, man. What's wrong, man?
This is what's wrong. Look at this.
Oh, man. That's it, man. She's crossed the line this time. Either you report this to Human Resources, or I'm going to. Emily is sexually harassing you. Her emails, man, it sounds like your job is at jeopardy. That's what it sounds like to me, and if you don't submit to her advances. Do you know our school district offers a policy that prohibits someone from putting you in situations like that, against violations like that, man?
There's a policy on it?
There is. It expressly prohibits unlawful discrimination, harassment, bullying based on things such as race, national origin, religion, age, your gender, even disability. Again, you just need to report it. And the sooner you report it, the sooner they can investigate it. This got to stop, man.
But I don't want to seem like a tattletale. I mean, I don't want anything to happen to my job. She's my boss. But I'm afraid I'm just not going to be able to finish this project. As long as I have to work on it with her, and I'm not sure I can work with her after the project's over.
Well, Josh, you're not a tattletale. I mean, her behavior is affecting your ability to even do your job. You just need to report it, man. In fact, now that I have seen the email and seen how inappropriate the email is, I have a duty to report it myself. Don't worry about your job though, because the board specifically prohibits any reprisal, any retaliation against anybody reporting or making a report on violations such as this.
So, well, that's good to know. I mean, it makes me feel better. But who do I tell?
You can report it to the Director of Human Resource, but it recommends though that you do it as soon as possible, but no later than 30 days after it happens.
All right, man. I trust you. I'll set up a call with Elizabeth and Human Resources as soon as possible.
Okay.
And that's how I came to you for this meeting.
Okay, well, I'm really glad you did. You were right to report this behavior. I need to know more about this email you're referring to. What did it say?
Well, while she was on vacation, she sent me another inappropriate email with a picture of herself. I want to let you read it for yourself.
Wow. This is definitely inappropriate. It is sexual harassment, and it is against our board policy. Remember we talked earlier about sexual harassment? Well, this email is one of the other types of sexual harassment. You know, it's sexual harassment when submission to the conduct is made as a condition of employment, or when submission or rejection of the conduct is used to make employment decisions.
I'm glad you agree. So what happens next?
We will conduct an official investigation.
And what is the investigation?
Okay, this means that someone in our HR department or in our legal department will be assigned to investigate your complaints.
What does the investigator do?
The investigator will interview and they'll take written statements from anyone who might have relevant information about this situation. And then they'll determine if there was an inappropriate act and that was a violation of our policy.
So how long does it take?
Well, unless something unexpected comes up, it should take about 15 days.
And what happens when the investigation is over?
Then the investigator will submit a written report to our school attorney. Okay, you'll also be notified of the results and if your complaint was substantiated.
And then if my complaint is substantiated?
In that case, the investigator will specify the corrective action to end this harassment and to prevent it from reoccurring. The investigator will also specify the steps to address the effects of the harassment and to protect you from retaliation.
So will I find out if Emily gets in trouble?
If your complaint is substantiated, she will be subject to discipline or corrective steps, but her specific discipline cannot be shared with you.
And what if I don't agree with the investigator's decision?
Then you have 10 days in which you can appeal to the appropriate assistant superintendent.
And I'm really fearful for my job. Is there a way to keep my complaint confidential?
Josh, in a situation like this, it would be really hard to thoroughly investigate this and keep your identity a secret. But I can assure you that the board policy prohibits retaliation of any kind for making a complaint.
Well, that makes me feel better.
Good. Now, I really want to thank you for reporting this. I will keep you updated. Meantime, if you have any questions or if anything else happens, please contact me.
I certainly will. Thank you.
The events and characters in this video are not based on actual events or real people. Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools sincerely thanks the following employees who portrayed the characters in this training video.